What's going on, guys? So I'm going to teach you how to do depth of field. I actually learned this myself not too long ago and I thought it was quite interesting, so I thought I'd show you guys. So I'm first going to make you a small little area to create our depth of field. Alright, let's just get some boxes. Alright, get the camera in a nice angle. Let's do from like this kind of angle, and we'll like blur each individual one. I'll change the color of them so they're easy to distinguish. Red, green, and blue. Okay, so I'm gonna put some settings on to make the scene look a bit nicer. There you go. Here we go, that looks a little bit better. Okay, so now let's apply a depth of field, because at the moment everything's all the same sharpness. So, to start doing this, you need to bring up the nodes. You can bring up nodes in a sec or now, depending on what you want to do first. I like to set up my windows beforehand. Node editor. Use node, auto render, and make sure that one's selected. Not auto render, sorry, backdrop. Alright, so you want to click on your camera and you want it to focus on something. What you can make it focus on the objects. So cube 1, cube 001, cube 002. So if you want it to have a depth of field on one of these cubes, you could do that, or you can do what I like to do, put in an empty and put the empty where you want the depth of field to happen. So let's say I want it to happen on the corner of this box. I will then click on the camera, click on focus, and click on empty. Now it will have its focus on the point of this empty. I like doing that because, like, if you wanted to change your depth of field and make it so your focus travels back there, you can with an empty because it doesn't show up in a scene. But if you start moving an object, you'll notice. Anyways, so that's where you want your focus to be. Now take a picture of the scenery, whatever. That should be a back image. It breaks sometimes. There should be a backdrop. Oh, actually, I think I have to put in viewer. So go output, viewer, bring this up. Then Shift A to do that. By the way, I'm assuming you guys know how to do that kind of stuff. Okay, filter, defocus. Put it where you want it to be. Now you gotta get the image and put it down to that yellow spot, and you gotta go alpha. No, you gotta go Z and put it down to there. And then in here you gotta drag that to there and drag it to there, I think. So you should end up with all your things linked like that. I should have a backdrop. I don't know why it's not happening, but I don't need it. I can just show you guys when I render. Here you go. That's done the blur. Kind of. Let's so now all we need to do is change the settings. Ah, here you go, my backdrop's come. So now you need to change the settings. So we've got the blur down, now we just need to change settings. So take off preview, put on use Z buffer. Now turn this down to something quite low. Get to where you want it to be. Turn that down to maybe 0.5. Mess around with the settings a little bit, that way the background gets more blurry. There you go, I quite like that. That's too blurry. And basically just mess around with these until you get what you like. I'm not going to tell you a specific amount because depending on how blurry you want the background to be will depend on what you're going to select. So now, like I said, the reason I selected an empty, because now if I really wanted to, I could drag that and go, I want the focus to be on the red cube, on the front of the red cube. Yep. Now and let's say we turn the camera. Oh God, let's say we make the camera here, bring cube in, and face the red cube. Now if we take a picture all the focus will go on that cube. Let's put this to 100. It's taking a while. There we go. Well, the focus goes on that cube. So that's why using empty to me is a good idea. If you move it, it should do a render here. Should do a render here. There we go. And now there should be blur on these two, but sharpen that. When it's done. Yeah. Anyways, let's say do depth of field. I kind of want to change the settings a little bit more. Just fiddle around with the settings as much as you want. It really doesn't matter. It's taking forever for mine to compose it. Alright, anyways, if you want to select an object, which that's cube, it will automatically put the focus on that cube. Take another picture. I should really change my node settings because they're really high, so it's taking ages for the computer to render it. There you go, and it will try to focus as much as it can on just the object rather than the point I made. Anyways, I hope this is helpful. I hope this will help you guys with your animations. This really helps to make a 3D effect because that looks much better. Just in general, that looks much better than just having nothing. If it lets me delete them. So that look, as you can tell, that will look a lot better. Delete. Than just as that. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this helps anyone out there, and bye bye.